What's up guys, it's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all had a lovely Easter weekend and you are not maybe hanging too hard if you were celebrating yesterday, and just that generally you had a lovely time if you did celebrate. So today we have the Valhalla summon which is dropped back in. And we have two brand new heroes in the Valhalla portal. So we have a 5-star hero and a nice 3-star actually. So we're going to go ahead and have a look at them today. Let's start off with the new costume for Fenrir because he is looking monstrous. He looks like he's just beat up some demons and he is absolutely ready to go. So with Fenrir, we have a barbarian. Interestingly, he's dropped in terms of his class stat. He was a fighter. He's now of the barbarian class. He does get the realm bonus, so he's of the Niflheim realm. The Niflheim realm gives all enemies -5, -10, or -15% accuracy, as long as a Niflheim ally has low health. Now, I just want to say that I do think that this Niflheim realm bonus is probably my second favorite of the Asgard realm bonuses, just because the way that it affects you is in a negative way, and it actually does do something as opposed to some of the other bonuses. So probably the second best realm after the mana cut, which is I think the Vanaheim realm. He does get the big mana bonus, which is great to see. So he gets, if you do have the costume, an attack bonus of 5%, defense of 5%, health of 10%, and mana bonus of 5%. So that is really nice to see. Now I am definitely a fan of the way he looks. I think that this is amazing. I think this is a really good sort of iteration of what he can be. And in terms of his stats, now I need to switch this max power preview off. A lot of you guys have been asking where it is. It's just the top left hand corner of the screen. You can see a little gray icon with a couple of chevrons on it. You just tap that and it switches the max power preview on. Tap it again and it switches the max power preview off. So that's that put to bed, hopefully. So in terms of stats, we're looking at 832 attack, pretty decent high attack stat for Fenrir. 761 on the defense, so a little bit squishy, not as survivable as some of the other heroes that we're seeing. And 1413 health, so pretty well balanced, well-rounded stats overall, except that he does lack a little bit in the defensive department, which should be okay because he's more of an attacker than a defensive hero anyway. So, in order to give a good comparison, before we look at his new special, let's look at his old one. So, in case you didn't have Fenrir or you never leveled him, he's never been a very good hero. His special was called Gargantuan Bite. He dealt 320% damage to the target, which was, I hate this thing where it blacks out. Let me know if you guys get this as well. It's been happening to the base. It's been happening on the hero cards. I mean, what's going on? Anyways, so the base form got 320% damage to the target and 640% damage if the target had less than 50% health remaining. So the caveat is that the target has to have less than 50% health in order for that 640% attack to trigger. If the 320 damage triggers, it basically doesn't do very much at all and you can just recover. Now the caster would gain a moderate amount of mana for each enemy that was killed and a small amount of mana for each enemy minion that was killed. Remember, he's just a hit one hero, so if you're going to hit one, you're going to kill a minion probably, and you're going to get 5% mana, which is not much. It's not enough. It's not what you need. And he healed the caster for 50% of damage dealt. So with this hero, he's a bit of a strange one because he had so much going on, running at fast speed. On the face of it, he looks like he should be absolutely brilliant. But in practice, he just kind of falls by the wayside because he's doing so many things, but he's doing none of them very well. Now, moving on to the costume. He now deals 350% damage to the target, and it's called Colossal Bite rather than Gargantuan. Not sure if Colossal is bigger than Gargantuan. Let me know what you think, but I don't know. 350% damage, so a little bit higher than what he was doing. He then deals 700% damage, again, if the target has less than 50% health remaining. I'm not too happy to see that they've kept it on the health. I was hoping they would switch it over to something like, maybe the mana or just some other kind of condition, because that 50% health remaining, it's a tricky one. Trust me, it seems easy, but it is a bit tricky. So, he's still a finisher, don't get me wrong. 700% damage is quite a lot, especially with 832 attack. But then the caster recovers 35% health for each enemy killed and 15% health for each enemy minion killed. Is this better than recovering the mana generation? Moderate and small mana? Yeah, I'd say it probably is, because, you do want him to survive to be able to take another hit, but it's only really a minor change. I think it's still not really hitting the mark for me. This last bit, though, increases the mana of the of the caster by 15%. That's super useful. So every time he casts his special, he's going to be increasing his mana by 15%. And he is running at fast speed. So, yeah, I like that. He's losing out on the heal of 50% of the damage dealt, which is a bit of a downside. But he does recover the 35% health for each enemy killed and health for minions killed. So that's kind of a little bit of an offset between the two there. What do I think of Fenrir? He is an interesting hero. He's a fast sniper. He could potentially be dealing 700% damage to the target, but the target has to have less than 50% health. So I would say he is a finisher, if nothing else. 350% snipe in this game in today's day and age is just not enough. Not by a long shot. So I'm not a huge fan of Fenrir. I want to like him because I think he looks cool, but I don't like him that much, to be honest. So let's have a look at the max power preview. He's got 1100 attack, so yeah, pretty decent if you do decide to second limit break, which I wouldn't with this guy. I'm just saying. 974 defense and 1955 health. He gets the special boost ether power, where at the start of each turn, this special deals an additional 30% damage for 6 turns. It's not one of my favorites, but you will be able to take advantage of that since he's running at fast speed. Only issue is you'll probably be taking advantage of the 350% damage and not the 700% damage, because it's unlikely that you will have whittled the target down to less than 50% health within the first 6 turns. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate. I was hoping for a bit more from Fenrir. Now, let's move on to the other hero that's in this portal real quick. If I can find him. Where are you? You're somewhere. Ah, there you are. Right. So the other hero in this portal is Nordri. Now, Nordri is an absolutely key hero because he gives the elemental defense down, and he's actually pretty stocky as it is. So I use Nordri all the time in tournaments. I use him against Titans. I do have Frida, but I've only recently pulled Frida from the Ice Elemental Summon portal, and she's not ready yet. She's not fully leveled yet. So in fact, I'm still using Nordri against 14-star Titans, and he works just fine. Seriously, he's a great hero. Now, the new costume is amazing as well. I just love it when they go like super comical with the characters. I mean, they've not even bothered with anything else. He's just now like got a candle on his hat. He's like a miner. He's got a pickaxe, torch, like he's ready to go. And I think they've made a real effort in the art with this guy. So, in fact, I think he looks better than Fenrir. Correct me if you think I'm wrong in the comments, but he looks great. Now, in terms of what he's doing, let's start with the class and let's work our way down. So he's of the monk class, great class because it gives him the chance to withstand status ailments. He is still of the Jotunheim realm, so all allies get an ice giant minion when one of these heroes dies. It's an okay family bonus, like I say, or realm bonus, like I say, but nothing to write home about. Now, the costume bonuses, and again, I'm going to have a bit of a bone to pick here. If we can get this max power thingy to sort itself out. Get back over there. Or this blacking out. So this costume bonus, where they get 3% attack, 6% health, and 1% mana. Why do the 3 and 4 stars have to be different than the 5-star heroes? I think everyone should get the big mana bonus. Everyone should get the bigger bonuses in terms of the costumes. I mean, there's no reason why not to give these heroes the same bonus. I like a lot of the 4-star heroes that have been released from the new costumes that have been released from the Valhalla portal. I just think that they really do need that additional costume bonus. And we have to keep going back and forth, and I'm so sorry, but I don't know why these things are blacking out. Maybe next time I'll just go back and forth like that. Okay, so in terms of his stats, we are looking at the max power preview, so let's just switch that off. 477 attack, 432 defense, and 902 health. Okay, really good, really balanced stats. His old stats are slightly lower in the attack and health department. In fact, I think they're, slightly higher in the attack and health department, but slightly lower in the defense. So he's got a bit more defense in this form. Not a huge difference there, to be fair. The defense and the HP is higher and the attack's just slightly lower, but that shouldn't hurt anyone too much. So his old special was Frosty Axes, and he was dealing 245% damage to the target and minor to nearby. And the target and nearby get minus 54% defense against ice for 4 turns. Super special. Just no ifs, ands, or buts. He's just doing what he needs to do, and he's taking care of business. Now, the new special is called Icy Axes, and he deals 220% damage to the target and nearby enemies. So even though his damage is slightly lower, he's a hit 3 hero, so he's dealing the same amount to the target and nearby. And all enemies still get minus 54% defense against ice. This time for 3 turns though. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of that. But I can see why they've done it, because against fire characters, the status effect becomes uncleansable and lasts 2 turns longer. That's not so great, man. So it's really good for fighting against titans, because it means that your defense down against ice is going to last for 5 turns instead of 4 turns, and every extra turn on the defense down is going to count and it's going to help. And it's good for sort of tournament play as well. I can see this helping out because he deals 220% damage to, he's a hit 3 at the same amount, which is really helpful in tournaments because you really want to be hitting them for the same amount of damage wherever possible. So I would definitely use this hero. I would definitely level him, especially for the stat bonuses as well. And in terms of max power preview, I mean, me just looking at that, like 1400 health, 778 attack, 622 defense, and nearly 700 attack and defense on the costume version would definitely be a reason to level him. He does also have or benefit from the counter attack ether talent, which is probably the best one, if not one of the best, to have on a defensive hero. And yeah, the rage talent in the regular version. So he's a really good hero already. The costume is making him better. On the downside, it is only slightly better because you're reducing the normal defense down by a single turn. So I think for most cases, if you're using him on a 3-star attack team for tournaments during the week, for tournaments and other things like that, I would use the regular version because you're going to want that additional turn on the defense down, trust me. But if you're using him against Ice Titans, or if you're using him in the events, then I would use the costume version of Nordri because he's going to give you that extra turn against the Titans, so 5 turns against a Fire Titan, and he's going to give you the even amount of damage against the heroes if you're fighting in the event. So yeah, he's a great hero, very versatile costume, and I'm glad to see it in this portal. So I wish you guys all of the best of luck with your summons. Hopefully you do manage to grab one of these 3 featured heroes. Scuddy's an absolute monster in her costume. The hit 3 with a decent amount of damage really helps to take out some of those beefier minions. And Freya with that dodge is, I mean, she's amazing. It's a great costume. And a great pairing with Bera, who is featured in the Fated summon as well. So yeah, please drop us a like, subscribe if you find the videos useful, and I'll see you guys all again next time. Bye for now.